Brittney Griner locked up, man. Do you know the background of this story? You familiar with it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to break it down a little bit?
Yeah. So basically So Brittney Griner is a WNBA player.
Yeah.
She plays for a WNBA team in the United States. And in the offseason, you go to Russia, play for a WNBA team there. And that's where you make a ton of money because the oligarchs basically run the league, sponsor everything, bred up all the girls that play.
Yeah. I mean, she was making like $1 million a year to go play over there. She's not making close to that here. I think the team she was playing for is in Ekaterinburg or something like that.
Elkenberg or something like that. I don't know the exact name. But yeah, basically she goes over there and she's been playing there since 2015. So she's gone for the past 7 years back and forth to Russia. Like she has roots in Russia, like where she's like has her house where she goes and stays, the whole deal. Yeah. And then this time around, she went in like there's no exact date. Of
early Feb. I think it was like February 4th or something like that.
Early Feb is what I've heard.
So she goes early February and she's in the airport going into Russia. And as she's walking past like a narcotics dog, the dog sniffs what they claimed like narcotic material in her bag. They search her bag and they find basically like hash oil or vape oil from her weed.
It's a vape that has hash oil in it, allegedly.
Yeah. And then they say, all right, yeah, this is like a class 1 narcotic, blah, 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 Russia. You're trying to bring narcotics into Russia. That's like a huge crime.
5 to 10 years in prison.
And basically she's locked up. But no one knew what had happened at the time. So it had been a month basically. And then New York Times breaks the article and says, yo, Brittney Griner's been in prison for the last month. And
now
we just found out.
Keep this in mind here. This is a week before the Russia-Ukraine war starts. So when this story pops up, I think it was 2 days ago, everybody's going, oh shit, she was going over there and they got her, they locked her up and they're using this as some sort of like tool for war, right? We're going to get a high profile athlete from America and keep them in prison. This will put pressure on America to either negotiate with us or help us get what we want, etc. I don't think that, and now that we know that it happened weeks ago, I don't think that I think this was coincidental. I think Brittney fucked up by having some hash oil in the vape. They arrest her at the airport. And I think that she's in jail. And I think before Russia invades Ukraine, they're probably doing a check to see which Americans and which high profile Americans are in Russia. Yeah. All of a sudden, Brittney gets flagged and they're like, ooh.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Because please believe, if you're a high profile athlete in Russia and you get caught with a little vape oil, you're let out. Yeah. These oligarchs are doing whatever the fuck they want. We went to a strip club with hookers that was right across the street from like the court in Moscow. There's no rules as long as you have money. And these oligarchs could easily get her ass out without a question. But a week, let's say they find out 2 days before they invade Russia, Ukraine. They knew they were invading Russia, Ukraine for months. Apparently, and I can't confirm this, but the Xi Jinping or whatever, the fucking Chinese guy, he told them not to do it until after the Olympics. So an invasion is planned for months. Right? You got to make sure that you have a war chest built up, meaning you have enough money that you could sustain any type of hits, not only to your army, but to your economy. Like what these sanctions are doing for Russia right now. I think they saved up $650 billion as a war chest. Right? So they knew what's going on. That gets flagged. And I don't know this for sure, but 100% I believe that they're keeping her ass there. As like a bargaining chip. I don't even know if it's a bargaining chip, but just basically a way to like put a little pressure on the U.S. Like we could keep your girls here. Simple as that. And then what do? She broke the rule. She knew the rule. What do? Do we go to war for a girl who broke the rule going into another country?
I think an A-list movie star would get locked up for doing something like this and they would not get let out. And we wouldn't have much leverage. I don't think, so like, I think for Brittney Griner, it's weird because maybe she thought like, I won't get in any trouble. I got this oligarch backing me because I'm trying to figure out what makes you so bold as to take drugs internationally.
I honestly, it could be an accident. I would 100% believe that it's like, it was a silly vape pen. It was in one of her bags. She's got 3 different bags.
She's in fucking Amsterdam for a week. Doesn't remember. Like,
I mean, she was flying New York to...
she flew from the States.
Yeah, it was New York to Moscow. But like, this is my assumption. I don't think she's going, I'm going to sneak this by. And she probably knows how strict things are in Russia. Granted, she's backed by this oligarch who can get her out of any trouble. That being said, let's not ruffle feathers. Also, she's aware, way more aware than most people, of the tensions between Russia and Ukraine. Apparently, they were all told this stuff. People in the Ukraine were told, get the fuck out weeks before. So she chose to go back knowing full well what was going on between Russia and the Ukraine and that war was going to probably happen within Ukraine. So it's not going to hurt her in Russia. But still, that is her bread and butter. That's where she makes all the money.
Yeah, that's where you make the money. I understand you going back. I don't... I feel sorry for her. I also think there is a part of you that's like, yo, you know where you're going. You know what the stakes are. You got to be pretty fucking careful, yo. Yeah, I don't think you have room to say, and it's not to say I don't feel bad for her, but you don't have room to say, I just packed the normal bag that I packed. You got to look through your shit pretty thoroughly if you know you're going to Russia at a time like this and you were warned about it.
100%. But I do also go like, have I really looked into my backpack? You know what I mean? I got a bunch of pockets in my backpack. I don't really know what the fuck is in there. It's possible that there's a little vape pen or there's some fucking CBD oils and shit.
Honestly, domestic, I completely understand how that, and I don't smoke weed, but like, you're going from fucking here to Colorado, or I mean, it's illegal there, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what if she's not packing her bag? This is a millionaire WNBA player who's got all these different things.
That's
like,
true.
Her wife could be packing her bag.
Yeah, that's true.
And her wife could have left it in there from the last time they did a trip together. This could be completely accidental. I don't think she was like knowingly trying to break the law thinking, oh, they're not going to do anything to me. I'm Brittney Griner.
I think she's got into Russia plenty of times with it.
Yeah.
So it's like, she's like, oh, I'm good. Every
but
time
if
I'm
you've
here,
been
I get
warned-
taken care of.
Now, if somebody else packed their bag, that's different. But if you've been warned, you're making a choice to go at a pretty crazy time. You have to know this isn't just every other time I've gone.
Yeah,
this is a
but
different thing.
This is almost like the NBA players in the bubble. It's like, oh, you can't get anything in and out, in and out. The big players got whatever the fuck they needed. So she's probably going there as like, I'll be all right. I have an oligarch who owns my team. I'll be good.
No, this is what Al's saying is really interesting. When you see how malleable the law is, right?
Yeah.
For this oligarch or for the team that you're playing with, when you see how malleable the rules are, and they are malleable in these countries, right? When I say these countries, I mean the countries where if you have money, shit just goes your way.
Yeah.
Right? You start to think that you are the oligarch. You are above the rules. She probably, and I don't even blame her for this, didn't realize how distant she was from that oligarch. She is an American, which is an enemy of the state.
That's the thing. You got to be aware of the fact that you're not you're not an oligarch. Not only not an oligarch, you're an American. Like, that's a different fucking thing with Russia.
How much is Brittney Griner or the average American really reading up about like Russia-Ukraine tension?
If you're living there, you should be aware. If she was just visiting and it's in her bag, cool, I can understand. And I'm not saying I don't feel bad. There's a lot of validity to what you're saying. I also think there's validity to, you got to be fucking careful, dog. What can we do for you?
I went to the Ukraine while they were at war with Russia for a party weekend.
You weren't on your best behavior?
No, I fucked a girl in a nightclub. Yeah. And then I paid for a hooker by going to 5 different ATM machines.
If you got locked up, I would do everything I could personally to get you out or whatever, but like, what the fuck is Schulz thinking?
No,
every one of us would be like, privately, what the fuck was this guy thinking?
Fam, 100%. I guess what I'm trying to say, and you have every right to say that. Like, I put myself in that situation. I guess what I'm saying is I can see how it's easy to be negligent.
Yes.
And it's easy. Like, I didn't even research how close Kiev was to Crimea and where the shit was going down. I didn't even look into it.
And we went that year. I only went, and you were like, that's the only spot where my dates line up. My mom says, yeah, dress warm. I'm like, we're
that's
in a war zone.
I got a message from Expedia. This is an active war zone. What? What? Why didn't you tell me that before I fucking bought the ticket? They let me buy the ticket and I get a message afterwards.
Yeah.
By the way, don't by the way.
Yeah.
They go, this is an active war zone. Do you also need a rental car?
But Schulte looked at his phone and was like, it's not an active war zone.
Yeah. That probably won't happen.
I asked my girl. I was like, babe, is there a war? She's like, nah. It's just tension.
They say it's DEFCON 1, it's DEFCON 3.
It's not a hot war, it's Cold War. Yeah.
By the way, also, she should know a lot of these Russian rules. I mean, she's a lesbian. And Russia isn't the friendliest to.
I mean, they're paying these WNBA players a lot of money. Who says that they're not friendly towards
athletes
lesbians?
First, but then afterwards. You know what they were doing for years.
Oh, yeah. What was that song by the two little light lesbians? What were their names?
Oh,
all the things she said. All the things
Tattoo?
she said. Tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were fire, bro. I love them.
Whatever happened to them? Where they at?
I don't know. WNBA somewhere. I don't know what team they play for.
Okay, so then what happens to Brittney Griner?
She's staying, dog.
Until sanctions are lifted.
We're on the brink of World War III. We can't fuck around with anybody in another prison. I don't care who you are. If it's Brad Pitt, hey, you in that motherfucker, dog.
Who would we go get?
Do you think it's any NBA player?
Who would we go get?
I mean, LeBron, we're getting.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even a question. We're getting LeBron.
Hostily or like, hey, take what you want.
No, I think there's going to be like a conversation that's behind the scenes and where it's like, we're going to need LeBron back.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go, well, you have 2 of our spies. And then we're going to go, okay, you can get your spies
for LeBron.
Yes.
Yes.
He's that important a cultural figure. It makes America look so weak if we can't get LeBron James. Think about it. You're young, so LeBron is like Jordan for your generation. Imagine Michael Jordan was locked up abroad. That's war, fam. I'm not going to lie. People need to get killed. People need to get killed.
You could possibly drop a nuke for
not
Jordan,
not for Jordan there. That's their shield. We're not dropping somewhere far away.
The surrounding cities for sure would get got.
That's the only reason we're not dropping the nuke.
Jordan would survive the nuke.
Yeah, he might.
He probably would.
He might be the only one.
Oh, you thought you would kill me with a nuke, bitches? I took that personally.
I think he'd break out of prison on his own, to be honest with you. I don't think he could get locked up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think he just hop over them fucking jail cells.
Game 6 versus the Russians.